Hi Ashley, you look so stunning today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, best of luck in your forthcoming international competition. Anyway, your parents are both product of national search decades ago. Especially your mom who competed twice for Supermodel Search and Miss World Philippines. So, what advice that she gave to you now that it's your turn to compete internationally?
The most common thing beauty queens hear before competing is to have fun. And I think we don't really recognize how helpful that advice is until we're truly in the moment. Because the truth is, everything you could have done to prepare is already done before you even arrive in the country which you're competing in. Whether it's losing some weight, brushing up on your public speaking skills, or working on your requirements, those things are finished already. So when you're in the moment, just enjoy it and let that genuine smile glisten from your face.
Okay, just a follow-up question. So, you're getting for a back-to-back. So,
no pressure.
Do you have a specific plan to sustain the momentum for the Philippine side? I mean,
you know, there's been a lot of controversy lately regarding different kinds of strategies for beauty queens. I think the best one that will work for me is to really just try to enjoy the moment, have presence of mind, and consistently pray, trust in God's plan, because ultimately we have all given so much. And even if some people may never truly understand what it takes to be a beauty queen, we know in our heart how hard we've worked. And so we have that self-justification that whatever placement we get, we truly deserve, because we gave it absolutely everything on both things that were and weren't seen.
wow, thank you very much. Very well said.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
the next question is coming from Tito Norman.
Hi, Tita.
All right. I'd like to really pick your brain because you're a smart girl.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to,
Allison, you said so easy.
record this. All right, my first question to you is about big words. The minute you land in Egypt, you will be having interviews, discussions, talks with your fellow delegates and the organizers. Would you rather use big words to put across your message and come off as this girl who's high and mighty, or use simple terms to make yourself more relatable, even if deep inside you feel like you could have worded things better?
Well, I think the best way to approach it is just be considerate of those around you. You know, being in Egypt, in a country where English is not their first language, you really have to be mindful. Of course, when people are interviewing you, they want to understand you because they're intrigued. So as much as possible, try to make it easy for them, because I'm already grateful that they're even giving me the time of day.
All right, let me pivot now to my second question. As you yourself mentioned, pivot earlier. The topic is souvenirs. It is a common practice among beauty queens to bring souvenirs to their fellow delegates as keepsake. What if, for example, in your case, the souvenir should be intangible? What of yourself will you share to your fellow delegates that will help them remember you by in the years to come?
Probably by making them laugh in the most unexpected way possible. I have a very almost cynical sense of humor sometimes, and I think that's just a little quirk about me that sometimes gets me into trouble and sometimes give me the very best possibility. And when we choose to be ourselves around our candidates, we choose to forget the fact that we are competitors, that is when we can form the best bonds and the best memories.
Thank you, Ashley. Ang sarap-sarap
Thank you,
niyang
Tito.
tanungin. Pahirapan talaga.
Hard question for Ashley.
No hard question kasi aalis na siya bukas. The last that we saw is nung sa Resorts World, parang 2 days ago. And I see...
I was still sick, wasn't I? Tell them, it's true, I was.
Oo. Parang sinisipon ka pa that time, di ba? So, Ashley, congratulations in advance. I know that you will raise our flag so high in Egypt. But my question to you is, how was the preparation? Naging hands-on ka ba sa preparation mo? Like, for example, you pick the right national costume designer and at the same time, your evening gown competition designer. How was it?
Well, I've had a lot of time to prepare. I've had a lot of beauty queens that I've seen come and go, and thankfully they let me learn from them. Initially, with Miss Charm, with Miss World, I was very hands-on because I wanted everything in my wardrobe to have an exact story. But this time, I decided to say, you know what, Sir Arnold, my designer, Sir Ryan Ablaza, my uncle, and to everyone else, Sir Francis G, my stylist, I trust you. I trust your vision. Just please give me the very best you can. I'll wear it in the most beautiful way I can, in the way I present it. Right now is a time where I will trust those around me and focus on what's inside my heart.
Thank you. And follow-up question, Mars. What life lesson have you learned so far in this journey? Sorry, hard question.
That it's okay to not be okay sometimes. And I've mentioned this several times before. I really, really went through a difficult time when my grandmother passed away. The most difficult part was I was on tour with some of my sisters, and we were going to Quezon province to give a breast cancer drive. And I had just been told that my grandmother, who had breast cancer, had fallen into a coma. And unfortunately, she did not wake up from. And I thought in my head, like, what am I going to do if I'm supposed to be an inspiration to these women to be open-minded about their health when I myself am going through their worst nightmare? How do I remain strong? And I thought, I've been strong for so long, and I'm letting myself down. And I think, you know what? It's okay to show that I'm broken. Because nowadays, people forget that it is okay to not have good days, to not feel fine, and to want to take some space for themselves. I think that now, women, especially beauty queens, are under so much pressure to look perfect and look emotionally intact all the time. So making that decision for myself after learning that lesson and taking those months to just heal, to grieve, to feel everything I needed to and not be afraid of it, that was how I helped heal myself and radiate even better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mars. Nakaka-relate ako sa beauty queen. The next question is from the star blogger. Sales
Hello.
Hello.
My question is, what are the qualities that best define you as the next Miss Eco International?
It's kind of ironic how my fellow sister queens pointed out that I'm a really good listener, because actually that's a quality that I believe would be the best Miss Eco International, whether it be me or someone else, is someone who's willing to listen and give the proper attention needed to environmental issues, as it's one of the world's worst calamities that often goes ignored, where people refuse to accept their part in taking care of the environment and seeing what more that they could do. And finally, being able to listen and being able to recognize how our actions have a macro effect on this planet is what's very, very much needed nowadays.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next is Jay Barber.
Miss J. Boy.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
Good afternoon. You look so beautiful
Thank you
this
so much.
afternoon. Anyway, this is Jennifer Pageant Trend, and I have two questions for you. First question is, what can we expect, Ashley, in representing the Philippines to Miss Eco International 2023 pageant?
You can expect me to ride a camel because that's on my bucket list whenever I visit the Mideast. That's something I've always wanted to try. So stay tuned for my Instagram. You'll find me riding one.
We're looking forward for that year.
Thank you.
And another follow-up question for you. Any expectations with this Miss Eco International 2023 pageant?
I already know that as soon as I arrive there, there may be different expectations of me being Miss Philippines. Everyone knows I have to gun in for a back-to-back win, which is extremely difficult. Of course, I'm very tall. I often have an unintentional, not intriguing, but intimidating presence. I think that when other candidates see me, sometimes they may feel a little bit hesitant. So I just hope that they keep their minds open and let me get to know them, because ultimately, when you compete, even for a couple of weeks, you never know who you're going to meet. And I'm hoping to meet a lot of lifelong friendships over there, the same way that I've built ones here at home.
All right, congratulations in advance.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's it.
Aidan. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
You are the third beauty queen from your family. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think so. We're
Your
a
Tita
big
Kai?
family.
Your Tita
Yeah.
Kai also is joining the
Yes,
meetings.
yeah.
Okay. What important pointers did you get from your mom, Cara, as well as from your Tita Kai, if ever, if any?
Well, both of them had very, very different experiences. My mother won nationally twice, like me. My Tita Kai competed nationally twice, both in Bini Bini and Miss Earth. Unfortunately, she did not win a title in either. So the experiences and the advice from them are both very, very different. My mother always just said to keep an open heart and enjoy the moment, because only when you are truly having fun can you have that authentic glow and twinkle in your eyes that can captivate hearts. And for my Tita Kai, she advised me to truly stick to my core. Beauty queens are often swayed or convinced to be things that they are not. And that can be very difficult. It's even worse now in the age of social media. So I actually saw her during the holidays, and she advised me, stay true to who you are, remember your ultimate goals, believe in the path that God put you on, and overall, have no regrets.
Best wishes.
Thank you so much.
Hi Ashley,
Hi.
good afternoon. So first one here from Pageant Night Philippines. So many of the pageant fans would always say that Filipino queens don't look Filipina. But what characteristic of a Filipino or Filipina you would like to carry on or emphasize during your Miss Eco International pageant?
Well, I'm sure when I'm in Egypt, there may be some cultural differences. I'm in a Middle Eastern country and I'm competing alongside delegates from 50 different countries, but anyone internationally who's ever competed against a Filipina can testify that we're very welcoming, we're very curious, we want to get to know one another, and we're very open-minded when talking to other delegates internationally. So I hope that when other candidates maybe who feel nervous can find comfort in this quality of mind. Thank you.
And you also mentioned a while ago about the changes, about the decision you've done in your life during your pageant journey. And if I may ask, what greatest pivot you've ever done or you've ever risked that you never regret?
It would actually be being brave enough to openly say that it's my dream to become a commercial pilot. And this is something I've kept in since I was a teenager, simply because when someone came to my school and told us about pilot school's careers, they looked at me, but they didn't take me seriously as someone who could have this ambition. They actually used the stereotype of Filipinas only being able to be flight attendants against me. That really broke at my self-esteem. And it was actually through my journey of self-growth with my first national title onto my second, it made me realize, you know what, I'm an empowered woman. I'm learning to be so vocal about the things I'm passionate about. I'm able to advocate to so many other young women about being whatever they want to be. Why don't I get a taste of my own medicine and finally chase after the dream that I have been hiding? And that is to become a pilot. So after I finish college, within a year or so, I will be completing my pilot studies.
You're so awesome,
Thank you.
Ashley, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Hi Ashley, good
Hi,
afternoon.
babe. Guys, if you didn't know, Adam Janato was actually the first pageant vlogger journalist to ever interview me. He interviewed me when I went to screen for my first modeling competition when I was 19. And now here you are. Thank you so much for consistently supporting me. I'm so thankful for you and all the advice you've imparted on me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Love you so much. Now my question is, since you're competing in Miss Eco International, why do you think fashion sustainability, 3Rs, eco-fashion is such a huge topic or a vogue topic nowadays in pageantry? Why do you think pageantry is kind of pivoting on these environmental topics nowadays?
Because people are only starting to realize how much environmental waste the fashion industry puts on. And of course, as beauty queens, we can relate. We work so well with designers, brands, and we often are told that we cannot wear an outfit twice. And so, for the longest time, people didn't recognize how much this was contributing to landfills and oceanic waste. So now we are trying to promote sustainable fashion. We are trying to show people it's okay to wear something more than once. It's okay to wear something that is recycled, to take care of it for years and years to come, and to please be mindful of how everything that you use, access, consume, dispose of has an effect on our environment directly.
So what's your take on fast fashion?
The immediate answer that may be expected of me is to say I am against fast fashion, but of course, I try to be open-minded. People don't hate the environment, okay? Of course not. But they do still purchase from fast fashion simply because fashion is expensive, and we often have to go through the societal pressure of never being able to wear the same outfit twice, having to look your best, having to look on trend all the time. So now, in order to combat the bad effect of this, is to not advocate for trendy clothes and for fast fashion to be what's popular, but to make sustainable fashion what's popular. And I think that if we have this monumental shift, then we can be very, very productive.
All right,
Thank you.
last night question. Will your parents be traveling to Egypt to support
No! Mom, where's the camera? Mom, I'm calling you out. She did not know her passport was expired until 5 weeks before the competition. Where's the camera? Mom, if you're watching this, I hope you know. I'll forgive you eventually, but right now I'm very disappointed.
All right, good luck, and may you bring home our second Miss Eco
Thank you
International
so
crown.
much.
Christian from Brown Philippines, you're up next.
Andito si Christian.
That's Christian.
Ano yung mic?
Christian.
Hi Ashley, congratulations in advance from the Crown Philippines. My question is, as Miss Eco Philippines, what is that one thing that you're most proud about when you talk about the state of the environment here in the Philippines?
Of course, as a Filipina, we're so proud of our beautiful beaches and our tourism that is known so well around the world. And on top of talking about this with pride, I would hope that people would not only be more intrigued to travel to the Philippines, but travel around the globe with a more sustainable tourism mindset. Because when you see the beauty of the Philippines, you want to preserve it. You understand how important and how delicate our ecosystem is. And if they were to carry this virtue from traveling to the Philippines to other countries, other islands, then they would go influencing others to also follow suit.
Have you spoken with Kathleen?
My-
Kathleen
Of course, we talk all the time. She's like a big sister to me. I'm so thankful for how helpful she's been.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Let's wrap up. Okay.
Okay.
Photo off. Photo off.
No, this is an easy question. Ashley, we know how pageants can make you feel lonely sometimes, especially when you fly. You're going to be the lone Filipina there. If not, maybe like a couple Filipinas. But how would you like us, pageant media, how would you like us pageant media, sisters, pageant fans to support you while you're gone? Do you want us rallying online, posting the best pictures, sending you messages every day? What's your love language? What will make you feel the most supported?
Well, first, shameless promo. Please go on the Miss Eco International Instagram page, like and comment on my video because we need to gather as much votes as possible. As for my sisters, fellow pageant vloggers, journalists, the best way that you can support me is really to just support each other because I'm not the only beauty queen in the mix right now. There are other Miss Eco queens. We have our new batch of Miss Universe candidates, Binings. Pretty soon we'll have another batch of Miss World Queens hoping to replace us. And we're just hoping that with all that has happened within the pageant community recently, we can have a much more happier, open mindset to support our queens because we all go through so much, but no matter what happens, we always try. We always put our heart into it, and we always want the best possible outcome. Now, even if we cannot control that, we can control how we choose to stay together and support one another. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ashley. One more round of applause for Ashley.